The British Olympic-class ocean liner RMS Titanic left Southampton for New York City on April 10, 1912. 4 days into the trip, Captain Smith, the navigator of the Titanic, was warned repeatedly throughout the day from radio operators on other ships about floating ice. Smith ignored those warnings and took the ship full steam in an ice field with no moonlight and poor visibility. As a result, the Titanic struck an iceberg on April 14, 1912, 11:40 p.m. in the North Atlantic Sea and began to sink. Despite having 500 lifeboats, 1,500 people died, mostly from cold shock effects and incapacitation, falling or jumping in the ocean. It took 2 hours and 40 minutes for the large vessel to sink on April 15, 1912. The time was 2:20 a.m. 700 crew members and passengers were saved hours later from the ocean liner RMS Carpathia. For more than 70 years, the whereabouts of the wreckage had been a mystery, somewhere 2.23 miles below on the ocean floor. In 1985, the RMS Titanic wreckage was found by Robert Ballard, a retired American Navy officer and professor of oceanography at the University of Rhode Island. There have been 37 successful trips to visit the wreckage of the Titanic. This is a story of one unsuccessful trip. Stockton Rush, 61 years of age, is the leader, designer, and CEO of OceanGate, a privately owned company which develops deep-sea submersibles since 2016. These water vessels are used for extreme, dangerous excursions to tour the Titanic wreckage, which sank in 1912. Most tourist rides to the wreckage site have been on older, still Soviet submersibles. The OceanGate vessel is built with carbon fiber, titanium, and plexiglass, materials that have not been used on submersibles before. The submersible is not a submarine. It is a boat or other craft, especially one designed for research and exploration. The vessel is 22 feet long, the size of a minivan. The submersible doesn't power itself. The power is relied on by a Canadian research mothership 900 nautical miles east of Cape Cod, called the Polar Prince. This vessel is a cylinder that has no heating. It's navigated from the inside by a $30 modified Logitech wireless game controller. Old, rusty industrial piping is used for its ballast. The submersible has real-time monitoring systems that monitor the integrity of the hull. There is no black box or GPS unit on the vessel to track its movements underwater. Submersibles are usually designed to fit 2 individuals. This vessel is designed to fit 5 and rated to dive 13,000 feet to the ocean floor. Enter the submersible. The crew will seal you inside the airtight vessel with 17 bolts. This is performed on the support ship. Once you enter inside, you cannot escape. You will have to be unsealed from the vessel by the crew. It has 7 redundant systems to return the vessel to the surface. Once at the surface, there is no emergency escape hatchet. It was designed with a 96-hour sustainment capability of oxygen, roughly 4 days of air, if there's an emergency on board. This prototype has not been approved, supervised, or regulated by any government body. Any leaks, cracks, or defects could cause the vessel to implode in a nanosecond. There are 10 vehicles that are certified to reach the depth of the Titanic. The Titan is not one of them. There are inspections before and after each dive, checklists, and additional strict rules upon the trip. Before taking the excursion, you are required to read and sign an 8-page waiver with every paragraph ending with, "You understand the risk of this trip could cause disability, physical injury, emotional trauma, and death." If one pays $250,000, they become what is called a mission specialist and can view the wreckage of the Titanic between an 8 to 10 hour window. Since the inception of this program, the Titan has made 12 trips to view the wreckage of the Titanic. There were 5 individuals who agreed to the price and terms of the waiver: 1 pilot, 4 mission specialists. CEO, founder, designer of OceanGate Expeditions, Stockton Rush, 61 years of age. British billionaire, Hamish Harding, 58 years of age. Pakistani businessman, Shahzada Dawood, 48 years of age. Son of Shahzada Dawood, Solomon Dawood, 19 years of age. World-renowned Titanic researcher, P.H. Nargile, 77 years of age. Friday, June 16th, 2023. The Titanic tourist started its trip from Newfoundland, Canada on a ship carrying the 22-foot submersible to the estimated Titanic wreckage area. Sunday, June 18th, 2023 at 8 a.m. 96 hours of oxygen in the vessel. The Titan starts to descend to the Titanic wreckage at 8 a.m. on Sunday. It will take 2 hours to dive 12,500 feet to reach the wreckage on the ocean floor. Every 15 minutes, the Titan communicated with the anchor ship Polar Prince. Suddenly, communication was lost at 9:45 a.m. between the two. The Titan lost contact with the mothership 1 hour and 45 minutes upon descent. The vessel disappeared off radar, lost comms, and tracking simultaneously. The transponders were lost, which is a fully autonomous system. It has its own battery power and pressure housing. At that depth, the temperature of the water is lower than 30 degrees Fahrenheit and pitch black. There was a loud bang on the hydrophones, which are devices used to detect and record sounds from every direction underwater. An acoustic anomaly was picked up by the United States Navy at the same time the submersible vanished. What was supposed to be an 8-hour excursion of the Titanic wreckage became a mystery where and what happened to the Titan submersible. At 5:45 p.m., the overdue submersible was reported missing by OceanGate Expeditions to the United States Coast Guard. It was reported that there are 5 people aboard the vessel on an excursion to view the Titanic wreckage 900 miles east of Cape Cod. The theory is that the vessel could have sunk to the bottom of the sea or floated to the surface. The clock is ticking, as the 96-hour amount of oxygen in the craft is being calculated how long the crew may have to survive. Monday, June 19th, 2023, at 8 a.m., 72 hours of oxygen in the vessel. Rear Admiral John Marger, commander of the 1st Coast Guard District, holds a press conference and explains the issue to the media and the upcoming plan. Over the next couple of days, massive assets were deployed to the remote scene for the search and rescue operation. Search crews begin to scour the remote site twice the size of Connecticut, one of the many complicated factors faced with the operation. The vessel in the ocean has been described as a needle in a haystack. Tuesday, June 20th, 2023, at 8 a.m., 48 hours of oxygen in the vessel. Efforts by the Canadian Navy, Canadian Armed Forces, Canadian Coast Guard, New York Coast Guard, ships, and commercial vessels patrolled the area using sonar and sonar buoys. C-130 and P-8 aircrafts are flying over the Atlantic Ocean using visuals, radars, and specialized equipment. The United States Coast Guard is working with international partners as well to complete the mission. Wednesday, June 21st, 2023 at 8 a.m. 24 hours of oxygen in the vessel. Surface, subsurface, and underwater searches are continuously searching as the countdown to the craft was based solely on its 96-hour window of oxygen. Sonar buoys and sonars on ships are listening to sounds. On Tuesday and Wednesday, there were noises heard that could have come from a variety of sources as sonar devices detected banging sounds near the last pinpoint of the submersible location. Thursday, June 22nd, 2023 at 8 a.m. Estimated oxygen in the vessel depleted. The 96 hours of oxygen on the submersible would have expired in the morning on June 22nd, 2023 at 8 a.m. The United States Coast Guard held a press conference and reported 2 debris fields with parts recognized as the vessel that went missing. It was discovered by a deep-sea remote operating vehicle. The debris field was located 1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic. The debris is consistent with the loss of the pressure chamber. Parts of the vessel found were the landing frame, front end bell, rear cover, and tail cone. The hull, the compartment where the 5-person crew were in, has not been retrieved. It has been ruled that the submersible suffered a catastrophic implosion. The vessel imploded instantaneously, and all aboard were terminated instantly. Experts have reported passengers aboard may have been obliterated, not knowing they were deceased, and possibly there are no bodies. It is possible that the carbon fiber began to crack under the intense pressure given the depth of the vessel in the ocean. There are 9 vessels at the debris site. Underwater robots will remain active at the site to salvage as many parts of the Titan to reconstruct a possible motive to its malfunction. On June 25th, 2023, the United States Coast Guard held a press conference to announce the closure of the search and rescue operation of this unfortunate case, which covered over 13,000 miles to find the Titan submersible.